Hello everyone, this is going to be your daily real message for February 6th. I keep wanting to say January. February 6th, the daily real shit message. It's general and it's not going to resonate with everyone, but if I resonate with you and you would like a personal reading, you can reach me at the links in the description box below. There are 3 ways to reach me, 3 ways to donate. If you really have something to say to me, I suggest that you email me or message me on one of the other platforms, because I'm checking these comments less and less because people say weird, stupid shit. And I don't want to be mean to people. So I don't respond. And then I just have been checking the messages. I mean, the comments less and less. But if you want a personal reading, you need to get at me that way. You need to donate. You need to read the way to go about it. All the instructions are clearly there. I don't put them there for no reason. Yeah, and let's get into it. It's getting harder and harder for me to get up here. Like, I'm getting more and more frustrated with people's arrogance, I think is a good word. And, you know, if you want a reader that is aiming to be famous and popular, there is many other channels that you can go to here on YouTube. And this isn't one of them, especially not these videos. This particular playlist is the one that you really don't need to be watching if you are looking for a reader that is worried about fame, fortune, and popularity. The moon. The moon. First card out. Well, what does the moon do? The moon goes in cycles. All right. The moon affects us on an emotional level. The moon helps us to gain things, get rid of things. It's on like a month-to-month cycle. It can create illusion. You can keep secrets in the dark. But you can also travel to the darkness to get answers. The moon is also to do with intuition, hidden gifts, hidden talents. And that is number 50. 5s have been coming up a lot. 5s have been coming up a lot. 5s for me, again, I stress for me, because it's very important that you understand that numbers, yes, they have a basic meaning, but when they appear to you, you need to look at what's going on around you to see how this is trying to relay a message to you for you. So to me, 5s are for losses, but not in a bad way, changes. But ultimately, when I see a 5, I know that it is time to take responsibility and take power, like take the reins. And in a way, hold on tight because shit's about to get real, but still let the reins loose enough to let it flow and let the change happen. You got to hold on tight enough to have control over it, but loose enough to sort of let it go with the flow. But if it gets out of hand or if there's an issue, you need to be able to quickly redirect. Do you know what I mean? That's for me. That's what I see. That's what I feel for 5s. 5s are a very significant number for me, and they have been coming up a lot. The moon is also to do with water. Water is both nurturing and destructive. We need water to live. We are mostly water. But water is one of the most destructive forces of nature. And you see there with the black cat. The black cat is a familiar for many. Okay? It's been a symbol of, what do you call it, superstition? And also a connection to the other world throughout history. It's been praised and worshipped. $37. 10. 10 has also been coming up quite a bit. Cycles. What's the first thing I said with this first card out? Cycles. There's something here that we need to look at. There's something here that we need to look at. Everything goes in cycles. Sometimes the cycles are good. Sometimes they're bad. Sometimes they need to be repeated because that's just the way that it is. Take life, for example. Life is a cycle on its own. Of all forms. Life of all forms. And it's a beautiful one, I think. But everything goes in cycles. Again, some of us need to look at our cycles and our patterns. We need to look at things that are happening, okay? With this 5, it's like take responsibility. Notice what's going on. Take the reins. Take back control. But this 37, this 10, the 10 is the completed cycle, not like the 9. The 10 is the ending of it, the last chapter to go to the next phase. But because of the 0 and the 1, to me, again, this is to me. I view it as taking with you all the experience from the past to the new journey. So having little to no experience with the new path, but having all the experience from the path you came from the cycle you just removed yourself from or closed out. I think it's time to, first of all, what I've been feeling a lot lately, and choices is the next card that just came up, which is 46, which is another 10. I think we need to start respecting and breaking cycles, depending on what the cycle is and where it falls, in what aspect, in what way. Right? I think this is something we've been needing to look at for quite some time. I think it's time to start saying we're going to do and start doing. And this is a problem for a lot of people in all areas. Procrastination. And it's easy because we're creatures of habit. So it's easy to get caught up in things. But now, I feel like 2019, and I said this yesterday, I believe, and I've been saying this in personal readings, the way it's been coming up, it's going to be very tough if you fight these things. It's going to be a very hard year on you. You're going to have to find some level of compromise, and change this year seems to be, at least for me and everyone that I'm involved with and everyone that I've come in contact with thus far, change is inevitable. Like, it's time. That's all I can say. It's time. That's what I'm feeling. Choices. You see, it has one black wing and one white wing. I do not view this as evil and good. It's another reason I stay out of the comments. I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings, you know what I mean? But these videos, I don't know. Not everyone is meant to see these videos, and that's why the views are much lower on these videos. And that's okay with me. I came into this knowing and understanding quite a bit more than maybe you all realize, especially the ones that are commenting certain shit. I view this as the dark and the light. And you've heard me say many times, I do not equate evil with darkness, nor do I equate good with light. What I see here and what I have been seeing is emerging, happening. The choice to go forward as an authentic being, merging both the light and the dark. You cannot always approach situations with a sort of forgiving, turn the other cheek, here's a rainbow and a unicorn attitude. If you can do that and that works for that situation, that is amazing and that is the way that you should go. But that is not the case all the time. You cannot always do that. Sometimes you need to go to the dark side. And that does not mean that it's evil just because it's darker. Not everything will be widely accepted, and that's okay. It's not supposed to be. It's not for everyone. But what choices are we making? I think we're being asked to choose to break some cycles. And we're going to have to go into the darkness, into our own darkness, and pull things to the surface. Integrate ourselves. Accept ourselves. And another thing, you have a choice. You have a choice of who you choose. You have a choice who you choose to be around, to allow to be around you. Your environment is a choice. The shit you watch on YouTube is a choice. You do not have to do anything. I'm not saying there won't be consequences, but you have a choice. You have a choice to stay in that relationship that you're in that you know is no good. You have a choice to let someone walk all over you. You have a choice. I'm so tired of reading for people that tell me they have no choice. And I've gotten some really foul messages. I've had people hang up in my face. I don't give a fuck. You should have already watched enough of my shit to know if you're looking for a reader that's going to tell you what you want to hear, I'm not the one. I am not the one. I'm not about to accept that money and make time in my day to fucking lie to you. You need to go somewhere else with that shit. There are plenty of them out there that will do it. Mostly everyone you find on YouTube will do it. Mostly. If you come up on a little channel, that's probably the one you're not looking for. And I don't even know what y'all consider little. I consider my channel little. Tens, endings. And you know, it was in the Gemini reading yesterday that I said October in the video and didn't even notice. Now, I have the comments, or not the comments. I keep the comments on. That's another thing, people. You just need to shut the comments off. Man, fuck you. How's your channel doing? Oh, that's right. You have 2 subscribers or you don't have a channel at all. You see why it's hard for me to get up here? Why I'm just quitting? I'm quitting listening to people. Like, if you have something to say to me, I'll listen to you, but not probably on the comment section anymore. I'm not shutting the comments off because that alienates people. Like, Oh my God. People think, like, I don't know what people think. I don't know how people think of me. I really don't give a shit anymore. But I feel like a lot of people think I'm real fucking stupid. Yesterday, I said October in the Gemini reading. And I have the notifications for the comments shut off. So like used to when people would comment, the notification would come to my phone and I could check it right away. Like I could just swipe my screen down and I could read it. It's not that way anymore. I have the notifications to my phone shut off so that I don't even get notified when people comment. I don't care to. It's all a bunch of bullshit anyway. Well, not all of it. Not all of it. Some people do say really positive things, and I apologize to the ones that do. Because I wish I could go on there and read only your comments. But unfortunately, all the other ones pop up too. So, in any event, the comment got through. It notified me. Someone had commented on the Gemini video that at 22 minutes and whatever seconds, I say October. So it was interesting to me that that comment got through in the first place because the notifications are shut off. But it notified me of that comment. And I went back and watched that. And in the reading before that, I had said, or it may not have been the reading before that, but in one of the readings, I had said that I feel this going out to the autumn equinox. The autumn equinox this year feels stronger than the last one. And last year felt very intense. And it's February, and I can already feel this year. And so, even though I didn't even realize that I had said October, I don't think it was an accident. I do not think it was an accident. I feel like these energies are stretching out. At first, I said 6 months, but I'm thinking past 6 months now. I'm kind of eager to see what 2020 is going to hold. I'm a little bit eager and a little bit not scared, but iffy. You know what I mean? Like it's really intense. 2019 is going to be intense all the way through what I'm feeling. Another thing I want to make clear. A lot of times people are like, well, you remember when you said blah, blah, blah in the video? Well, no, honey, I don't. Because when I'm not talking to you like this, the information isn't coming directly from me and from my brain most of the time. It's very channeled, which means I kind of just speak. It just comes out with no filter, which is why the love videos that are censored are very tough for me to get through. So I have to go back and watch these videos a lot of times to see what was said, because they are so channeled when it gets to the sort of reading part of it, especially. And you can tell, you can see my energy. You can see when I get into it, like you can hear it. Well, some of you can. Some of you can. Relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. I'm telling you, the cycles, they need to be broken. Or at least looked at, because I feel like some cycles need to be respected because they're there for a reason. They've always been, they'll always be. But some cycles need to be looked at. They need to be recognized. They need to be taken responsibility for so that you can break them. Make new relationships with people that serve your higher good and bounce on the ones that don't. Choices. But I feel like the moon, to me, is a very positive thing, but also can bring out negative aspects. It's like some people are staying in the dark, but some people need to go to the darkness to find their answers. Well, not some and some, all. but some people just choose to stay in the dark. They make a choice to stay in the dark, but they don't take responsibility for it. I feel like a lot of people do make a choice to stay in the dark, but it's like they're constantly blaming it on something else. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Judgment. This is something that a lot of people still don't understand. A lot of people still just don't get it. You know, I had a conversation last night with, I'd like to say best friend, but she's really more like my sister and definitely a part of my soul tribe. But I was having a conversation with her last night, and we had a very intense conversation, not an argument, but a very intense conversation about, I don't know, 5 months ago, about a particular topic. And she was very set one way. And I was trying to explain to her that it doesn't work that way. Like, I was trying to explain to her my view, because I was a little bit further along on that particular topic than she was. And I was trying to explain to her that you can't say that you can't say never, because everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own path, and they arrive at their own destiny on their own time. And that the human is very complex. So you can't just say, I feel this way and that's the way it is and that's the way everyone is, because that's not how it works. And she was very hell-bent on this is the way that it was. So eventually I was like, I love you anyways. And she was like, I love you too. And we hugged and we agreed to disagree. It was not even 2 months later where she caught herself in the very situation that she said was impossible to be in. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And we talked about that last night. She was like, do you remember how hell-bent I was? She was like, nobody could tell me nothing. And now look. I was like, I know. But that's why I just kind of shut up and said I love you, because I knew that you were going to arrive at a situation some point in time and you would change on your own. Or if you never changed, I would still love you anyways. This is what's missing in so many of us. The respect of everyone's unique path and journey. This is what holds us back from our relationships many times. Well, you don't think like me. You don't believe like me. So I can't be around you. Bullshit. There's a lot of things that we don't see still and haven't seen. In fact, a lot of people look at us and cannot even believe that we're as close as we are, because we are so different. And that's to be said about quite a few of my closest people. But that is what is so beautiful about our relationships. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it to myself. Now, it's at this point I'm going to tell you a piece of a dream that I had last night. Last night I dreamt that there was a woman teaching a class, and I was in this class, and she took off her wig. Nobody knew she had a wig. Her hair was flawless. It was beautiful. It was like full and bouncy, and she was beautiful. But she took off her wig, and she like started pulling the hair out of the wig, and there was a girl there sort of to the side of her that was waiting for her to hand her the wig so she could put new hair. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen anybody make a wig, but they put that hair in those little holes, you know, and however, you know what I mean? I'm not a fucking professional wig maker, but that's what was going on. When she took off her wig and handed it to this girl, I was in shock that she had a wig on. And when I looked at her head, she had scars all over her head, like somebody had cut her head open and like laid it open to have brain surgery. There was something that had been done to her head intentionally. It wasn't like a bad wreck or anything like that. They were very surgical, planned out cuts with, you know, that had been pulled back together with stitches. And I just remember, even in my dream, I remember thinking, how can you sit up there and teach this class when obviously whatever you're telling us is not your own? Someone put that in there. Someone cut that open, cut your head open, put that in there, put those programs, those thoughts in there, and then sewed it back up. And then on top of that, you've been wearing a wig to make it look like your own hair. Like, to make it look like your own thoughts. And I just thought, how could you have the fucking audacity to be up in front of this class teaching? And then the man next to me said, look. And I looked outside and he said, the hurricane's coming. And I woke up. I'm not quite sure what the last part means yet, but I remember I hadn't, you know, given the dream crazy amount of thought since this morning. But I do remember even in my dream thinking, like, how dare you get up and teach this class when you're not teaching your own ideas and your own thoughts. And I remember just kind of like taking a sigh and sitting back like, well, you know, I can't control that. But now that I know, I don't have to be in this class anymore. So honesty, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. You cannot expect everyone to be as authentic as you, if you're even authentic. You can't expect people to be honest. But you can be honest with yourself. And you should be. And you should be honest with them even if they're not honest with you. You should not alter yourself for them. Change is good and constructive criticism is good, but you should never have to alter who you are, who you truly are for anyone. Well, I don't know. Because some of you truly are, not some of you, but some people truly are rapists and murderers and molesters, and perhaps you should alter who you are. But for the majority of the people that are living genuine, authentic lives for the highest good, you should not have to alter who you are, and you should not be dishonest with yourself or with others, even if they lie right to your face. You have a choice. The Lovers. Lovers has been coming out. Lovers has been coming out. And if you heard, I mentioned the Gemini reading. So interesting on so many levels. So yeah, I feel like we need to, and it's falling under, it's the Moon, relationships, and the Lovers. We need to be forming relationships that are balanced and equal and divinely connected. Okay? Attracted to those people who serve my higher good. The Lovers is all about balance. It's the yin and yang. It's the light and dark. Two of Swords in reverse. Two of Swords in reverse. Let's keep going. I don't feel like we're not making, well, some of us are not wanting to break the cycles, not wanting to see the cycles. Some of us, I feel like this is in reverse because we're taking off the blindfold slowly. We are seeing the cycles. We know we're at a crossroad. We may not know which way to go, but at least we are acknowledging that it's there. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Falling under the choices and honesty. You can't control what other people do. You cannot control. If they want to be one-sided, there's nothing you can do about that. But what you can do is be authentic to yourself. Continue to be honest. There's nothing you can do about a one-sided situation except for either deal with it or walk away. But, I mean, you can tit for tat and you can sort of retaliate, yes. But should you? I'll give you a perfect example. When I get $1 and $5 and $10 donations, and don't take this the wrong way because like it's not all the time, but sometimes when I get these numbers 1 and 5 and 10 or 8, and then 5 areas of life and 22 questions later that this person wants off of this $10. This person wants quite a bit of my time and energy. And I'm not even joking. Like literally 5 to 7 areas of life and 20 questions or more this person wants for this little bit of money. I give it to them every fucking time. I give it to them and I'm honest with it. And I do what I said I was going to do. No matter what you donate, I will read for you. But I also know, before I even start the reading, where all of this person's problems stem from. And it is because they are selfish. It is because throughout their entire life, they have wanted something for either nothing or very little. It is because their entire life revolves around this type of energy. Now, that's not all the time, because there are some people, I've done readings, look here, I'm going to tell you another thing, like I know, that is 80% of people that do that I think that about, or that I know that about. I feel that, because you have to understand too, you're asking me to read for you, so you're allowing me to tap into your energy, so I feel more, and there's a lot that I see that I won't say that I see because it's private and it's your business. And I'm not trying to shame or make anyone feel bad, ever. But there are some people who have donated nothing, and I have read for them, and I won't hear from them. 6 months will go by, and all of a sudden there will be $100, $150 donated randomly. And I'll message them, well, that's just from back when you helped me out. People are generally good people, but you do run across people that this will always be them. This has always been them. But you have a choice. You have a choice to stay honest. You do not have to lower yourself. And I run into it all the time. And I know. Unfortunately, until they change this, there's nothing anyone can do for them. So what do? We understand. We understand that everyone has their unique path. That is their cycle. That is their burden. That is their karma. We choose our relationships. We allow people to do them, and we stay true to ourselves. And I truly believe that maybe not all of them, but some of those people that come at me like that, I have to believe, I know in my heart, that at least one of them has gotten that reading and hung up that phone or turned off that video and been like, damn, that was worth way more money. And I know in my heart that they have either recognized this behavior and chosen to go forward and change it, or they have recognized it and maybe not changed it, but maybe they will in the future. Maybe they will in the future. That is another way of planting seeds to allow people to witness your authenticity. Allow people to witness your honesty. The King of Swords with the Five of Wands and the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. I love it. I love it. There's new love coming. There's a whole new venture. Look at that. The Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. There's so much newness and beauty being brought in, but it's going to take quite a bit of loss. And it's not a bad thing. It's just hard to let go sometimes. We talked about that yesterday. But it's time to stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. Go with it. Go with it. It's going to clear us up. This is the game of life. This is what it is. All right. So I love you all very much. Thank you for joining me today. If none of this resonated, that's okay. Check back tomorrow for a new video.